up with Maru. 19-13, 9-5 versus Protoss, coming off of a recent loss, but this guy is coming out flying here in game number 1.
He is indeed, and I mean, the map Outboxer, I feel like this map especially is going to really favor Maru. His hyper-aggressive style. We could even see some Widow Mines in this map too. We have seen that before, I believe from TY especially, but at the same time we have been seeing a new kind of PvT emerging on this map specifically with kind of like 2-base Colossus aggression. Parting kind of led the way with that, and then we saw other Protoss kind of go with it, and it has proven to be very strong.
Yeah, no, you're so right on that. Now, playing stats here for KT Rolster, you see that roar from the crowd come out here. Wow. I feel like this was a bit of a gamble. I think they were not expecting Maru to come out here because they didn't want Maru to be the first player or something. Maybe that's what they were thinking. But let's be honest, Outboxer has been the map of Terran in particular in this tournament, especially maps for Byung and Maru. It's like Maru's most played map. So it could be that he's got a snipe strategy prepared here. He's had a whole really, really long time, about a week, to get this ready. So we'll see, man. All right, let's go into... Oh, before we go into the game.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's going for Maru on this. I mean, there's no surprise at all.
Huge cheer comes from the JINAIR crowd, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's keen for that. And I'm not surprised at all. I mean, it is Maru's map. And stats, he is a great player. He can beat Maru, but it's going to be very difficult.
Well, he's got a lot of time to prepare. Let's see if he's got something prepared here for Maru. Going into game number 1 on Outboxer. JINAIR Green Rings versus KT Rolster. Our second semifinal here for the SPL 2014.
Down here in the bottom right in the green for the JINAIR Green Wings, it is Maru.
Yeah, a big fan there of Maru. And he's from PlayXP, which is a big website here in Korea, journalists. And up at the top left in red, stats for KT Rolster. So if you're a big Pro League fan, don't watch too much else. It's a stats fan here. If you don't watch too much else, you might be wondering why these probes have hats on. And the reason is it's a 4th anniversary of StarCraft yesterday, and I guess there's...
oh, I guess it's kind of technically today for maybe European, American countries.
Yeah, so it's still going on over there.
Wow, bad manner, Kerrigan.
Kerrigan? You mean Nova.
Ah, whatever. Same thing, but in Heart of the Swarm.
Basically.
Same thing.
I main Nova in Heroes of the Storm often, so. Okay, so this map, I feel like stats may have a snipe build prepared. This guy is very Stargate-oriented as a Protoss. Oftentimes shows us, early Phoenix builds. Usually in the matchup versus Zerg, but we could see an Oracle opening here, would not surprise me.
Sure. I mean, it could definitely do some work here. I mean, it is a great map for drops and sort of airplay in general, and obviously going Stargate will give you the option to kind of, if you really want to go Phoenix and shut down those sort of harassment early. But at the same time, we have seen that popular kind of 2-base Colossi style being implemented against these aggressive Terrans, and it has worked very well in this map. So I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be interesting to see exactly what Stats has planned.
Well, Probe is going to get over here and scout the CC first. No barracks just yet. It's going to be put down right now. And there's also something to talk about on this map specifically. Byung playing for CJ Antis went mech twice. Or was it 3 times, actually?
3 times, all 3 times.
3 times on this map, was put out every single time on this map, always against a Protoss, and did it all 3 times. It was successful once, but it got shut down the other 2.
Yeah, I just really feel like the successful time was due to a surprise factor, a shock factor, and also Classic not seeing it. I hope there's like a GIF on the internet somewhere of Classic's face when he scouted the mech ban. Like, he actually, his eyes popped out of his head, his jaw dropped so fast, man. Like, probably broke the sound barrier. That's how fast his jaw dropped, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same way when it's Zerg against Terran, and the Zerg realizes it's mech too late. There's always that factor like, oh, I haven't gone the right tech path, I haven't upgraded the right units, and I'm really behind simply because of that fact. And I could definitely see it being the same way in PvT. It's simply if you can scout it early enough, you can get Immortals out, you can kind of be as greedy as you could possibly be against sort of Mech Terran and get into that good mid to late game.
Sure. So in this game, we had a command center first into double barracks. Upon the scout of the CC first, Stats harassed with his probe a little bit, pulled out of gas and made a faster nexus as a response. And his sense, of course, put back into gas and does have that second assimilator running. So things are going to get heated up here in just a minute. Things have kind of had a bit of a slow start here. Obviously, a massive tech advantage goes to Stats because he went Gate Nexus Core and now has his Stalkers coming out. And that SV taking the party hat real, man. He's like doing a dance in there.
The rave is on. We got a third barracks coming up here. Looking to make a significant amount of Marines here pretty fast.
Definitely kind of gives me the impression it's going to be Bio instead of Mech this game. Unless he's going to go for some sort of funky Marine harassment into Mech, which I guess isn't too far-fetched.
Yeah, I don't think so. The third barracks is pretty you know, indicative that we're going to see Mech. I mean, that would just be too many Marines.
It's a big commitment.
We could still see some meching units. Like there are ways. I mean, Mech is still kind of this like nebulous idea right now because it's not really figured out. No one's really making it work. But there are some builds where you like pressure with Marines and do some drops even and start making siege tanks defensively and then just cut Marines and switch into it. But, you know, and this is, of course, cutting stem and whatnot. But
yeah,
could see something like that. Very unlikely. The tech ops coming up here. I think we are going to see stem. There's an eBay.
There's a Robo and one Forge. Only one Forge so far.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see if he's going to go for that two-base kind of fast Colossi or he's going to go for a reasonably fast third, maybe focus more on upgrades. Only one Forge, though, so maybe just an armor upgrade for now.
There are so many different units on this map right now dancing because it's the anniversary, actually.
That's exactly why they're doing it. It's not about the game. They're partying right now. They're celebrating 4 years of this game. Can you believe it?
It's hard to believe, man.
I couldn't believe it when I found out. I was like, whoa. Seriously.
I've spent 3 years of it here in Korea, and it's been a blast.
I've spent 4 years playing it like every day. Wow. It's a long time.
It's a long time. Okay, so we're going to see this style that you were talking about, Moonglade, with the Colossus pressure probably. It's also coming out with this this new Warp Prism, where you always have the Zealots ready for a backstab. And as soon as the Terran moves out, you know, you're totally fine without 4 Zealots at home. You just drop it and get some SCV kills.
Yeah, actually.
Actually, he's going to take the island.
This is
cute. Boy.
This is very Stats.
It's very Stats. It's kind of risky, too. It's going to be completely based on, like, Maru will never check this for the longest time because if he does, obviously Medivacs can drop pretty damn quick and he'll deal with it very, very quickly. So very sneaky play, and he's putting it down straight away, so he's going to have to be very defensive while he does this. I mean, he's really put in a lot of minerals. He's going to have to camp at home. He's going to have to deflect everything while making Colossi and a low amount of gateway units.
Yeah. Well, he's just ready here in the main for any sort of drop that might come in. There's an observer on the edge, and you know, I don't think he's really going to see that. I think if he had, he would have already scanned and killed it. Stim nearly done here. Combat shield's on the way. He's doing double Marauder production. And I don't know, it almost looks like Maru's just gearing up to do that innovation push where you just try to hit this really, really solid time to your SV pulls, do that lazy boy attack, but with usually 4 Viking production or 3 Viking production off the 2 starport. And I almost feel like that's what we're going to see here for certain.
Yeah, I agree. I could definitely see that. And it's going to be really hard for Stats. It's going to be hard for his third base to really kick in and give him that kind of supply advantage, that economic advantage he needs to deal with that push in time. Because obviously, yeah, Maru really gearing up for some aggression very, very soon.
Look at this. This is actually a really technical choice here. Most people use the recall with the mothership core, but in this case, he decided to use this instead because he wants to save that mothership core energy because he knows a timing attack is possible here.
Yeah, there is no way you can waste your mothership core energy on this because you have to put down so many photon overcharges. You got to put down time warp if needed at a certain time. Like, is too much defensive capabilities of the mothership core in this matchup.
It's so smart. It's so smart. And now that Stats actually knows the army is moving out, he's moving his Warp Prism actually into position. Looks like he might warp into something and actually drop while this attack is going on. Could be devastating.
I think he's trying to decide, like, do I need those 4 Zealots at home or do I have enough, you know, there, and should I warp in at his base? I think he's, like, really on the fence about it because this is a lot of Terran army coming up here. I mean, look at the army supply, 61 to 43, a massive lead here for Maru, and he's going to come in here right now. There's a lot of Colossus power, though, with about to have range, and he's got 1-1.
Yeah. Still no use on the Warp Prism. And his third base is mining. That one pylon is destined to die on the edge there.
I really feel like Maru even scans here. Like, I feel like a more valuable scan might be at that island. It's actually really greedy for him to not check that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so unexpected because it can get shut down so ridiculously easy. It's like, there's no way because, you know, it's going to get killed if I see it in one instant. It's actually like, it's like an all-in sort of greedy move. And we're going to see a huge drop in the main.
Yeah, massive drop here. There's Stalkers waiting, but that's not enough. They need to move back. Blink isn't ready yet, so a few of them will go down. He's got so many Colossi here, though. Going to snipe the core. And escape with the majority of his units. Meanwhile, coming into the natural here, he's getting a lot of probes. 2 Marines do get trapped, but how many probes will go down? There's the Nexus cannon.
It looks like a lot, and he's going to be able to stim out and not take too many losses. And a lot of his stuff in the main base didn't even go down as well. Sniping that Sniper Nex core. Going to have to rebuild that. Not going to be a bunch of Stalkers for a while here.
Yeah, nice, very nice play. He lost a couple of Stalkers too, so his kind of anti-air, anti-drop capabilities in the main is going to be kind of weak at the moment, so he's going to have to play extra defensive. But, you know, he didn't lose any Colossi. He still has that third base up and running. It's kind of getting everything he needs to really get ahead with army supply.
Yeah. Well, this time the drop is coming in again, but Blink just finished, and he's going to have +2 to armor. He sees those Stalkers, and he's not going to drop, but he scans at that natural. He's trying to go for a drop at the natural, it looks like. Possibly cancel this third or fourth base.
Yep. Now, right now, Maru's under the impression, though, this is a third base. So he's like, okay, that's really late. I've had my third up for a while. And a Widow Mine with this. And 3 Widow Mines with this. Excuse me. Nice dodges here on those, but the Nexus Cannon is going to eventually ward this off. He needs to bring those Colossi over here. They're going to be quintessential defending this drop. Nicely done. And I think right now, we're about to have that moment where suddenly Maru just doesn't have enough units because that Nexus to the bottom left has had so much time to actually pay for itself. And he's going to start to wonder, like, how do you have so much stuff?
Yeah, he's going to be kind of...
Well, he might even check this right now. Do you think he's going to check this?
No, I don't think so. I think he's going to go up north after this. It would be amazing if he did. If he goes close enough, maybe he'll see, like, an edge of a building, but,
it's worth checking, I would say, if you're going to go this far.
It's just so unexpected. It's such a nice
actually
read.
crazy. This is actually crazy.
He doesn't see it. He's right next to it, and he's not going to check.
Oh my god, guys. All right, here we go. He's going in. By the way, he is making 4 Vikings at a time. I think he is gearing up for an attack potentially off of that, as he doesn't have any more upgrades queued. Here's a big drop, and Zealots need to get over here. They're actually blocked here by the Marines. Really good positioning here by Maru, and he's attacking the 4th base at the same time.
And he's going to pick up and get out. The Blink goes down. He will get one of those medevacs, but again, that 3rd base, it goes down. He snipes the Nexus. Or the 4th base again, I should say.
The pretend 3rd base.
Right.
So Maru thinks he's really ahead right now. He's like, yes, I killed the 3rd base, but really, the real 3rd's been up for so long now. That is just a decoy.
But honestly, Maru's done enough trading, almost arguably here, to where he's in an okay spot. You know, he's traded with these armies, so he's picked off so many things that the 3rd base is just kind of keeping stats alive right now in a sense. But what it's allowed him to do is build this massive Colossus count, and I really want to see unit tab because Maru has been doing 4 Viking production a lot of this time. I just don't know exactly how many Vikings he has because he needs a lot. That's like not quite enough yet. I think he needs like 2 more rounds here.
Stats is about to have 7 Colossi. You're going to need a fleet of Vikings to take down that many Colossi.
Yeah, and I mean the problem is when you have this kind of Colossi ball, it's going to do so much damage before they all die anyway. Because Viking can only shoot so fast. It's going to have to be like really based on how good the position is for Maru when he finally takes that big fight, and how little damage these Colossi are going to do to the core of the bio.
Yeah. Well, all right, this is it, guys. No SCV pull. Maru's actually trying to make this a long game that he wins through his harassment and his poking rather than a timing attack. He will force this to be canceled again. No question about that. But these 2 medevacs are not babysat. And he loses all of them. Okay, here we go. The Vikings in a great spot to fight these Colossi right now. Could not be any better. But now a few of the Stalkers are coming up. He's trying to kite here. That armor, +3 on the Colossi, applies twice to every Viking shot, and the Vikings are unupgraded.
It's so good what he was doing there, trying to drop it in the main. He drew all of the Stalkers out of the way, and in the meantime, he was getting such good pot shots on all of those Colossi with all of his Vikings. So very nicely done by Maru. And again, this 4th base is trying to get up, but it's really hard for Stats to defend this right now. Some Stalkers get called out here as well.
Yeah, he's just going to have to let this 3rd go again. You know, he's so good at this zoning. He's so good at knowing exactly where he needs to be in order to do this sort of damage. A straight-up engagement would have never worked there. But now, you know what, Stats is actually going pretty far forward here. He forces a stim, He's going to wait until that wears off a little bit.
Oh, wow. He's going to lose another Colossi.
Yeah, that's huge, actually. That's starting to cost him. But Storm is done. And he's got all these High Templar here. Maru does not have any Ghosts yet. His Ghost Academy just finished. All right, he's going to try to take this engagement. I don't know if this is the right choice. Storm hits a decent amount of Vikings, but Maru still kites back. He needs Storms on the bio.
The positioning out of Maru is really, really nice. Dodging a lot of those storms, not taking too much damage, but a good storm goes down there. But again, kiting back. The Colossi remain, but he's still got a big ball of bio.
And everybody knows when Maru has Marauders like this against Colossi, he's going to try to make it work every time. And I think it just might. He's got so many of them left here. And that concussive shell slowing these units. He's starting to get his way in there. I think he may try to go for a hit on that third. It's just not quite enough DPS here. He can't snipe it. He just sit back.
Yeah, and like the biggest story of like so far what we've seen, even though Stats has had such an economic advantage, like he simply is getting out-microed, out-positioned every single fight. He's lost so many Colossi simply from like pot shots from the Vikings, doing so much damage. He lost his fourth base so many times, and even now he's picking off more and more units, doing damage, and there's no return from Stats. He just doesn't have enough. He doesn't have the right positioning, and he's really lacking in gateway units. Sure, he has like a lot of Colossi, but there's no like massive ball of Zealots that are going to run down everything if they get close enough.
Yeah, that harassment over there at the third is pretty nice. It's going to force units to react there instead of reinforcing. Not quite able to get in here and snipe this base on the other hand. I think he lost some Mothership Core though. I'd have to double check that, but
Vikings overcommitting a little bit there. He loses a big chunk of them. And right now, double Colossi production is on the way, so he's got to be careful not to lose too many of those Vikings. He's only got 3 at the moment, and he's making medevacs.
This is really risky. He's actually considering it. Oh my God, that micro move right there is incredible.
He drops only the Marauders out.
That is so hard to do. That is actually so hard what he just did right there.
It really is.
Yeah, it's very, very well done.
So almost for this entire game, there's almost been like a win condition of if Stats gets this base up, the game is over. He has it now, but it doesn't matter as much because Maru during all this has also secured a base. He is mining from that. If he can actually kill this or control it, force a lift on it, Maru's going to be in a terrible spot because the upgrades for Stats are starting to get up there, and the attack upgrades, he's got 7 High Templar on the map and still those 5 Colossi. The army simply put for Maru is not as strong as Stats is right now. He's going to have to try to take some really, really good trades.
And Maru is losing a bunch of these units that are just walking back. I hope that Maru is not getting a bit overconfident because he can't see the supply of his opponent. He does not know about that base still. So he's like, oh, I got 4 base to 3. I'm totally fine. But actually, Stats is sitting back. He's like, I'm on even bases. I should be fine. It's Protoss late game here against Terran.
Maru's actually like, he's actually just trying to play this map for like what he thinks it is, right? You know, he's like actually just probably like, yeah, okay, I was in your base over there and I keep trading with you. Like, I'm ahead. Like, this never happens. Like, he's like, I'm going to play late game TVP and I like it. Like, he's like, I'm actually ready to do this. I'm going to do what nobody likes to do. I'm going to actually do the dirty work here and actually fight a late game Protoss army because I have this economy. I can keep trading because he just simply doesn't know.
He doesn't know, and he hasn't checked yet. We do see some units going down to the bottom base there. I don't know why they're there exactly, maybe looking for the War Prison. But yeah, we're going to see a big push here, and Stats is really ahead in supply now and has the army composition to really deal with Maru.
Look at all those Colossi. He's got 7 right now. Huge storm goes on a lot of those Vikings. Good feedback on the Ghost.
Again. He's taking so much storm damage on these Vikings. This storm not as good, but it does help zoning-wise. And he is just pounding them out here. He's going to force a lift on this third, and he's killing these depots. He's actually going to get that tall depot here in a second as well, and actually supply block Maru. One more shot will do it there.
Maru's got to be so confused right now. How does he have this many units? He's probably saying to himself, a giant drop in the main that hasn't really been used just yet, but it's there. Finally they go, and there's no units in the main to defend.
Could actually kill this Ghost Academy before it researches Cloak. No, it looks like it just finished, my bad. But, I mean, this is basically... Maru's in a situation where he's kind of trapped. The game isn't over because he still has his army, but he lost his base. He needs to take a really good fight. And it looks like the Colossi are going to turn and fight now. The Stalkers did so much damage. The Storm is starting to pick them off left and right here. And Maru does go for the chase with an SCV pull. Another Storm goes down. Stats needs to get out of here. He needs to get back. He needs to get the rest of his units over from the main.
Stats is running, but he's got such a huge supply lead right now, up 50. And the Zealots in the main base have not been dealt with.
They killed the CC. He killed the CC. And now he's coming home, but this means his base is not going to... He's like, where is your base? Where is it? I don't understand.
Oh,
this doesn't make any sense to me, you know?
Maru's been duped. He's been tricked. He still doesn't know.
GG. That camera shot of that base with the GG coming up could not have been there could not have been a more fitting end.
He cannot believe it. What a win. What a great start for KT. This is exactly what they needed. Stats doing what no one expected and taking such a risk. And Maru simply going into tunnel vision, not thinking outside the box at all. And he pays for it.
Yeah.
What an upset.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, guys.
None of us actually thought Stats was going to do it, but he got away with some pretty good greed, some pretty good sneaky plays, and Maru just wasn't there to find it out.
Very good start. Very good start. That was a really close game regardless, you know, even though he was up the whole base, like, Maru was almost picking him apart. It was so close.
Yeah, that's actually, like, it just goes to show how godlike Maru is as a player.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's
true.
like, I'm like, I almost wonder, like, if you set Stats' handicap to 90% in the game, like, or maybe rather Maru's handicap to 90% of his health, like, would he have won that game? I'm like, you know, without the base, I'm like, maybe so. Like, he's actually just that good. Like, he's actually just that good. That's his map to a T. And this is, okay, so we talked about it. Why they sent out Stats here. They knew they'd be hitting Maru. That seems like an odd choice. Obviously, he had a very specific build plan. So
exactly.
It worked.
I love how everyone on KT is kind of like laughing at the same time. Like, lol, that actually worked. Like, it's so funny, but it's so good.
Yeah.